This is Josh Bycer from GameWisdom.com. Hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have any suggestions for games you'd like me to look at here on the channel, please let me know. Welcome back, everybody, for another episode of Game Wisdom Live here on the Twitch stream and channel. This is the week of March 30th, 2017. This is going to be our last live cast for March, and my voice is about to die on me. This has been a very busy week in terms of talking. Besides making more videos, we did a live cast with Brian Cronin earlier. I did a podcast yesterday with Sandy Peterson. We're doing this right now.
We have one tomorrow scheduled too.
Yeah, we have one tomorrow with the developers of Regalia. And then, as an added fun, we have next week starting to fill up as well. So, first off, for those of you watching this, here's a bit of a spoiler. But next Wednesday at 8 Eastern, we will be having a live chat with Yacht Club Games in honor of the Spectre Knight expansion and talking more about Shovel Knight. For those of you who missed this, of course, I'll be making a little video preview for the weekend, but that's kind of a little advance warning for those of you watching this. And then Monday, we are actually scheduling to talk to the lead designer of Battle Brothers. So I'll be able to ask him two important questions. One, why does his game hate me? And two, what did I ever do to him? And why are you punishing me so? Hi, El Gordo. Hi, Sharma. Thanks for joining us. So with all that said, this is going to be more of a faster paced Game Wisdom Live. We won't be having a major topic tonight. My voice again won't cover it, but as you heard, joining me as always are my co-host James Ellerby.
Howdy, guys.
Hey James, I don't want to say it's been a while. We've been talking almost every day at this point.
Almost every day we've kind of been. It's been a good week for Game Wisdom. So.
And it's always great to have these these conversations as well. I'm sorry you missed the Sandy Pearson one. That was very fascinating.
Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, definitely. Oh, obviously, it's always going to be a great chance to talk to a legend in the industry. So
yeah, we talked about sort of the history of Ensemble Studios and the challenges of taking Orcs Must Die and translating it into a board game. And we talked about their upcoming Kickstarter, which the podcast will be basically held in reserve until the Kickstarter. So, unfortunately, you folks won't be hearing my conversation with Sandy again until probably the first week of May. But it was a really great conversation. And then, of course, we have, for those of you watching this on Twitch, tomorrow I will be posting our live chat with Brian over on YouTube, and that'll kind of be the podcast for the week. And for those of you watching this right now on YouTube, that'll kind of be your double play, I guess, for Friday. So it'll be this and our live chat. So there'll be a lot of talking for tomorrow. And for either Friday or Saturday, I'm going to probably post the last chunk of the Nier Automata play. Get that wrapped up, and then we'll go from there. But one other bit of exciting news. I know last week I talked about how I was planning on writing a script for a site we were talking about the history of Command & Conquer, and I finished it, sent it over, and the guy loved it. So I believe in like a week or two that video is going to be published using my script there. So I'll be sure to include a link to that when it goes up, and hopefully it will mean more in the future. But the real point for today's cast is kind of, again, like a low-key. I want to talk a little bit more about some ideas for the site and some other things going forward. So the first thing, I want to get your guys' thoughts on, it was suggested as another idea for the Patreon that maybe including the dollar or more reward, that I give you guys the link to the Discord app or our Discord channel that way, so people can communicate, and we can have sort of like a little community that way. And again, it'll be at the most basic reward, so it's not going to be like I'm going to charge you $50 to come and chat with us. But the other idea was, as we talked about last week, I've been trying to come up with a way of branching off the critical thought. Again, bringing up into game industry topics, design or systems talk, and then like a history of video games or a retrospective. And I think I came up with an idea for the industry piece one. So I want to get your thoughts on this, James, and for those of you watching this as well.
Yeah,
what,
definitely.
What I was thinking was kind of the term would be like behind the design. Something like a little witty like that. And this would be for basically whenever we talk about a industry specific topic. So marketing your game, Kickstarter tips. I was actually thinking about this earlier. Why you need a press kit for your website. So this will be more for like talking about what's going on with making video games, but not talking about like the mechanics or the systems. So that would be what the critical thoughts would be for. So that would be again topics like what are achievements, how do you come up with a good control scheme, stuff like that. So what do you think about that as like kind of like the title?
Yeah, no, I kind of like it. He said you're naming it behind the design.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's that actually sounds pretty decent. But I guess so it's kind of telling people that it's you're talking about stuff behind the design.
Mm-hmm. Maybe behind the game design. Maybe you think that one word would be too much?
Well, I was wondering about so you're talking about more about the industry as opposed to the actual physical makeups of the game, right?
Yeah, more like the industry topics or what goes on with basically running the game industry or being in the game industry versus talking about making a video game kind of thing.
What about calling it into the industry? Well, the only reason I'm saying that is because behind the design, the second someone looks at the word design, they're going to be, oh, this is a video about design. Oh, well, it's called behind the design. Well, okay, so is it like before design? Like, well, I don't know. I think you should definitely have the word industry in there. That way people know you're specifically talking about the industry as opposed to the design factor of the game itself. I don't know. Guys, what do you guys think? Gordo, what do you think?
Yeah, it looks like he posted one thing was to beware of word repetition because you're already using dissecting design in the weekly videos like that.
Yeah. Well, what do you think about it into the industry or in the industry?
I'd like the industry, maybe,
or definitely something with industry in it, because that pulls people to the fact that you're talking about everything like about the gaming industry, because that's talking about marketing, that's talking about PR and all that kind of stuff, sales values, those kind of things.
Investigating the industry, in the industry, maybe something like that. We need to think of a good I word for the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah, investigating the industry, enter the industry, something like I or E, because E is close enough to I that you can substitute and it still has a bit of alliteration.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I definitely lean towards something that speaks about the industry as that actually mentions the word industry in it. That way you're not gonna, because if you never want to say something that you're trying to tell people not to look at. So like by calling it before design, people are gonna start thinking, oh, it's a design thing, and that's not what you want. It's not a design. It's about you want to make it about actually everything other than design. You want to make it about all the other stuff, the industry and the ins and outs about that. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but yeah, I mean, like I say, guys, whoever's listening, what you guys that are listening to this, think about some I and E words to go with industry. Definitely.
Yeah. Question from Chat Charmer: have I played Gran Turismo 6? I have not. The
Mm.
racing genre is one of those ones I've just never really had a chance to get into.
I have not played a Gran Turismo game since PlayStation 2. And I tell you the truth, it's funny thing is I really enjoyed the Gran Turismo games. Like, well, actually, I really liked specking out the cars, and I was one of those. I think I played the Gran Turismo games, and then I started playing the Need for Speed games, and then I realized you can do both of those things in Armored Core. And I was like, oh, well, why would I drive a car when I can have a giant robot? So, and no offense to people that like car games. I mean, that's awesome. Go for it.
Yeah, and maybe one of these days we'll play a My Summer Car, or that Jalopy game that El Gordo keeps talking about. That you're building a car from scratch kind of game.
Yeah, that'd be kind of interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, El Gordo is saying needs to be something game industry related in case someone stumbles on it from outside. Like Critical Thought, it'll always have something to do with video games in the title, so that's an easy one.
Yeah.
Investigating the industry, examining the industry. It probably has to have something to maybe game industry investigation. That's a little too wordy.
Industry investigation. Or investigate. Oh yeah. It is kind of wordy. It is kind of mouthy a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. So it's definitely something to think about too. So, yeah.
Examining game industry, examining. We probably should have listed this as like a writing exercise. I mean, we get some writers in here to help us. Examining the industry, examining the game industry, investigating the game industry. Yeah, exactly. It needs to have game industry in the title, or game or game in parentheses, kind of.
Yeah.
None. It has to be either E or I.
Yeah, like enter the industry or something like that.
And then the game could be in parentheses. That way, it will still be enter the industry. But they'll still know what that is. Yeah, that's going to be a tricky one. We'll need to. Maybe something will come to us by the end of our little chat tonight.
Yeah, definitely.
Let me see. What was the other thing? Yeah, so we still need to think of something for like a historical vlog. This would be again looking at like an older game, or talking about like what was the industry like in 1995, or a look back at the 3DO, which I still have.
Reliving retro.
That's actually, I actually like that one. What do you guys think of that one?
Yeah. Okay. I was just mentioning that. I was like, oh, that's kind of what we're doing.
Something with like retro in the title may be good.
Retro rewind, or something like that.
Yeah, I should actually consider writing these down just so we don't forget them. Reliving retro. It's always tricky when you're trying to come up with these catchy titles for things. And for those of you who are longtime fans of Game Wisdom, you know that coming up with catchy names have never been my strong suit. Again, any MMO or RPG, just like random letters. That's how I name my characters.
Yeah.
Let me see.
I kind of like retro rewind. Oh, that's kind of hard to say though. Retro rewind. But yeah, it's kind of hard to say.
Retro retrospective. No, that's also a little weird.
Yeah.
Retro game rerun.
A retro rerun.
All
right, that's kind of interesting.
Well, we'll see. We'll throw that in the. We'll put that in the list here.
Yep.
There we go. That will at least help me got at least a few things listed so we can hopefully see if anything gets going. Back to the game, El Gordo suggested. And I wish we could get more people from the fans of the site either watching these or giving us some suggestions, just to get more eyes and ears on it. But this will, of course, be uploaded to YouTube, so hopefully someone else, maybe they'll deliver the lightning in the bottle phrase there. Maybe we have a few admin who are fans of Game Wisdom. Let's see. Back in the year 20XX, thank you, El Gordo. Maybe we get the Mega Man theme to play. Well, someone, one of my family members suggested that we should have we need to come with some music for whenever we start doing something.
Oh yeah. Some music would be nice too. Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, if you guys love my singing ability, my musical playing ability is probably right up there. So if anyone knows how to come with a nice little ditty or what's a
theme song or a theme song or a jingle.
Yeah, there it is. Hi XP, thanks for joining us. You missed our little creative writing exercise as we were trying to come up with.
We were cloud brainstorming. That's what it was. We were brainstorming.
Trying to come up with a catchy title for the 2 additional vlogs. So one about the industry and one about a retrospective on the game industry. So what we have so far is something like investigating the industry, into the industry or into the game industry, something like that. And then the other one would be like a retro rerun, reliving retro, maybe something retro related. But we're still trying to come with something catchy. Mark that down there. But we shall see. Yeah, maybe XP will be the one to come up with the winning solution here. But while we're waiting on that, so someone, I'm not sure, again, it was either XP or El Gordo suggested this last night when I was doing the Snake Pass about the putting the dollar reward for the wow, my brain just completely failed me. The Discord, there we go, the Discord. So I think we'll do that probably this weekend. And again, for everyone who's already pledged, it'll just be like a little extra bonus, and maybe it will help get people interested in it. And like I said, today is again the 30th, so there's 2 days left for the Patreon this month. We're still at $48, so if you would like to donate, definitely feel free. We can get those in when we hit $100. That'll be the first goal for the channel. That'll mean more content for everyone to enjoy. And for you, actually, since you're just joining, we also announced that Wednesday at 8 on Twitch, we'll be having a Yacht Club Games live cast talking about Shovel Knight. We're hopefully going to be talking to the developer of Battle Brothers on Monday. That will be recorded. And then tomorrow, we are talking with the team behind Regalia for another recorded podcast. So all of our voices will be dead probably by sometime next week.
Yeah.
Let's see. Anything else going on? Oh yeah, I heard Persona 5. Is that out yet, or is it about to come out?
I think it's coming out. I don't think it's out. I don't think Persona 5's out yet.
Yeah, I put in the request for the press key, and I'm still hoping and pleading with it. El Gordo, game industry yesterday. Maybe a little too wordy. Again, whenever coming up with catchy wordplay is always tricky, and we're basically behind the 8 ball because everyone has came with as many different versions of gameplay, video games.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could say extra credits. I mean, no one's bothered using that phrase, right?
Oh yeah, that's a completely original title.
Yeah. Or X-Play. That works too. But yeah, we're going to hopefully be getting more talk or more discussions about Shovel Knight next week. Gaming history, yep. That's what we're trying to do. Again, it's just never easy.
Yeah.
But, like I said, this will be a quick in terms of our usual Game Wisdom Lives. We're probably not going to be going to an hour. I guess just quickly, we can, while people are brainstorming in chat, So this week, I guess the games that I've been playing, I was looking at, excuse me, that game Snake Pass that just came out. Have you heard of that one, James?
Yeah. Actually, I was watching a little bit of a video on that. It looks kind of interesting. Actually, mechanically, it looks really interesting. Like I think it's one of those you control. You have to really work it like a snake and moving around like that. That's kind of cool.
It's a lot of fun. It's very challenging too, and
Yeah.
they got the composer who did all the music for it. He is doing the same music for ukulele.
Oh,
And
really?
he's also the guy who did all the music for Rare back in the day. So like the Donkey Kong Country stuff, he did that.
Yeah.
So I was like remembering Donkey Kong Country from playing that game thanks to his music. But yeah,
That's awesome. Oh, okay. So Donkey Kong Country. So it's funny because like when me and my brother were listening to it, we said it sounded like it sounded almost like Banjo Kazooie.
yeah, and Banjo Kazooie, I'm sure he did the music for that one as well.
Oh, he did the music for that as well.
He was basically like
guy.
Rare's
That's awesome.
like composer. So he was with the company for, I think, pretty much since like the mid '90s going forward.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, it's definitely a lot of fun. I'm debating what game to stream tonight. We're kind of at an interesting impasse. We have Gwent, there's Battle Brothers, Snake Pass, and Thimbleweed Park just came out. But I don't think Thimbleweed Park would be a good game to stream because basically anything I show is spoiling the game. So I don't know.
Okay.
I don't think I want to show too much of that. But maybe trying to finish off Snake Pass or going through another world or two. Yeah, I need to get back to Gwent at some point. Oh yeah, I gave James the link to the entering the beta for Gwent. Did you have a chance to look into that?
Yeah. So I'm just waiting for them to get back to me on a key. So that'd be awesome.
Definitely. If you can get that, I would love. That would be a really great game to talk about. And hell, maybe we could make some videos of just the two of us playing it too.
Oh yeah, that'd be kind of interesting playing against another person as well. Like getting a chance to do that. I think that'd be kind of cool. So.
And I know that in terms of like CCGs, that Hearthstone has a big expansion coming out. What was it?
Yeah,
Shadowverse is getting. I think is either getting it or it's already out. They're doing another update to that. And I'm kind of curious, like sticking with Gwen, about when that will actually come out, because I know it's been in beta for at least I think the better part of last year. But again, like it all started as kind of like this little idea that they had with like a little mini game for The Witcher 3, and now it's exploded into this whole secondary game.
Yeah, no, I think that's really cool though. Like seeing that kind of transformation between from it being just like a little side game, a little side project to a main thing. I think that's awesome. And they've done that with a couple of other games too. Like they're like there was a triple triads from the Final Fantasy series. It has kind of had its own little a little thing to it, and which is kind of cool. But yeah, it is kind of cool seeing that kind of stuff happen, like especially to fans, people that had a good time playing those kind of like side games.
Yeah, and again, it's kind of weird to like see how these things are growing. I heard, I know since you're a fan of Payday 2 like me, that they announced on Steam last week they're going to be doing another week-long free event for the PC version starting April 3rd. They're going to be doing like a spring break update, and they're also going to have like massive discounts on all the DLC and stuff like that.
Oh, really? Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. So I actually uninstalled the game just because it was taking up so much space on my hard drive. But if something big happens, I wouldn't mind trying it out. A few friends of mine were looking at Killing Floor 2. They were having a free weekend, I think.
Yeah, I saw that they were having. Yeah, they're also having a free weekend as well. So it's kind of interesting. Yeah, it's kind of cool that I think more game companies are getting better with that. You know what I mean? I think it's and I think that's good because and what better way to get people interested into your games? I mean, back in the early like PlayStation days, if you had the PlayStation Magazine, you got like free demos with the PlayStation Magazine, which I always thought was kind of cool.
Yeah. And it's also a great way, especially for multiplayer games, to try and get their community going and growing. Because
Very much
again,
so.
a game like Killing Floor or Payday 2, if you don't have people playing it, your game's dead basically.
Yeah, yeah, oh yeah, definitely. Yep, those are that relies heavily on its target, on its audience and its player base. So,
I know. Did they release the new character to Overwatch yet?
Orisa, yes, she is out on the computer servers. I actually haven't played Overwatch in a while on I haven't played Overwatch in a while on PlayStation, but I know she is out on the PlayStation, on the servers for on the computer servers. So.
Yeah. Oh, and here's something I just remember that today's the day that StarCraft, I believe, has gone free. If you want,
Oh,
you can
really?
download the game for free now in honor of their
StarCraft
HD
is.
remake.
Oh wow, huh?
I mean,
That is definitely not something I would have thought of, that StarCraft would have done anything like that. Like it, you know what I mean? Like StarCraft. I mean, no offense to Blizzard, but StarCraft is a huge property. You know what I mean? That you tend to think that would you know, and I guess the actual StarCraft hasn't the first StarCraft hasn't been around for quite some time. So you know, but you know, StarCraft 2 is the big new kid on the block in that respect. So
yeah. And I'm looking at like the information for it. It's only going to be 1.5 gigabytes in terms of its file size. That
okay.
is crazy. Oh, and Elgar just mentioned Planescape Torment's getting an enhanced edition as well. Do you know what Planescape Torment is, James?
I've heard of Planescape, but I don't know what Planescape Tournament is.
Oh,
No.
Torment, not Tournament.
Or Torment. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. Planescape Torment. Okay.
Yeah, that is one of it's another one of those like almost like holy grail RPGs from like the heights of Black Isle, BioWare back during the mid '90s. I've played it like once, but not enough to get any real impressions on it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's kind of interesting.
but with StarCraft coming out or the free version of it, that will definitely be a. No, I think that gives me my idea if I can get it to work for dissecting design for next week. That would be a great retrospective on StarCraft. Although no multiplayer though, because I think I'm not
Yeah.
good enough to show that off. But it would definitely be interesting to talk about StarCraft and its legacy.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, come on, like StarCraft definitely has been definitely a forerunner in the industry for a very long time. So.
Oh, and that reminds me. Speaking of, I heard they're doing a major push for Heroes of the Storm soon. They're
Oh really?
trying to,
Okay.
use a defibrillator on it, get it back to life among people.
Yeah. I'm a huge fan of Heroes of the Storm. I've been playing that. I've actually played a couple of times, and again, it really astounds me how much how much Blizzard really works their IPs and works their characters, and really gets and really gets their fans behind their characters, and really take like to them, characterization really is everything. Like you are gonna remember their characters. You know, if you say anything about Blizzard, it's definitely the fact that their characters stand out from the crowd. And I think Heroes of the Storm is really cool in the fact that it switches up the MOBA genre by giving you more to do. And for anybody that knows anything about Blizzard, you definitely are going to have an advantage in entering that world, because a lot of it is it's all based around the Blizzard characters. So yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah. Oh, that's. We're saying that the Secret World is going free to play. I thought it
Oh
was
my goodness!
already free to play.
Nope, has not been free to play, which is
Really?
kind of odd. Yeah, the Secret World is one of those games that kind of held on to that pay to play for a long time, and it's
Weird.
been out for a while. It's been out for a while. So like it going free to play, I'm actually surprised it held out this long. That it just got to free to play now, or that it's going to free to play. Which wow, yeah, that's. I don't know. I can't. I don't know what all happened with that game. Upon its, it got a really big hype train, and I think it did get a really big boost in players in the beginning, and then I think it just kind of fell into obscurity with the continual, like, there was a lot of MMO market was saturated during the time when that came out. So I think
And
it was just one of those. Yeah.
and we talked about, of course, with Blizzard as well. You don't Blizzard has basically gotten control over the MMO market. You're not. It's going to be very hard for you to try and compete with them.
Well, yeah, but I think, I mean, nowadays,
Hmm.
I don't think Blizzard controls as much real estate as they did before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They definitely, when it comes to, like, back in the day, back in the day, in the early 2000s, Blizzard was king. Blizzard was king, and you took whatever piece of land they allotted you. So, but I do think. I just don't. I don't think they have that much power or as much power as they did anymore.
Yeah, they're still pretty big, of course. There's no doubt
Oh
about
yeah,
that.
yeah,
But
yeah.
it's always interesting about you. You wouldn't think that would still be going on. Like you would think they would have moved on to like a World of Warcraft 2 at some point, but they don't have any desire or I think reason to do that.
Why? But
Yeah.
my question, honestly, I think it's the thing that they've answered. Why?
Yeah.
They have no rhyme or reason to go to a World of Warcraft 2. They have everything they could possibly want. They still have a fan base. You know what I mean? I think if they get desperate, yeah, maybe they'll start talking about World of Warcraft 2, but they're not at desperate range yet. Like,
Yeah.
they're not what they once were, but they're not at desperate range yet.
Are they still like at like 8 to 9 million subscribers monthly at this point?
I would not doubt it.
Yeah. I don't think they're hurting for money anytime soon.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think. I don't think Blizzard's hurting for money anytime soon.
Mm-hmm. But that
Well,
is,
I mean, obviously they're not if they still have enough money to create new IPs. You know what I mean? Like, and that's something I was talking with my brother about too. Is that like Blizzard is only dealing with 4 IPs, and I hate to say it, but StarCraft really hasn't seen much love since the StarCraft to the StarCraft 2 expansions.
Yeah.
They've really been putting a lot of their eggs into keeping World of Warcraft upkeep for World of Warcraft. And the push for Heroes of the Storm and
Hearthstone.
Hearthstone and
Overwatch.
Overwatch. Hearthstone and Overwatch are their big moneymakers right now. So I think that's kind of where a large chunk of their dedication is to.
Yeah, that is kind of interesting about StarCraft 2 now that you mention it, because when I did my piece about Command & Conquer last week, so I was like, again, like last week I was talking about trying to find numbers. And I'm just wondering, like, how much did StarCraft 2 actually sell? Because, again, like, one of the things about Blizzard is that it's almost impossible to find, like, accurate numbers from them. I know, like, with the original StarCraft, it was estimated in 2009 that it sold, like, about 10 million copies. Because when we talked about last week, Command & Conquer as a franchise sold about 30 million.
Yeah.
Well, again, that's over 11 games, so many expansions, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Maybe I should do a video spotlight on that horrible, like I said last week, the free-to-play Command & Conquer game, just so we can all get those nails in our chests about how painful that is.
Have you got a chance to try Guns Up yet?
I did, actually. I've been doing it a little bit on and off over the last week.
Okay. What did you think so far?
It's interesting.
Yeah.
I do like how the aesthetic for the game. I think they really. I always like when games have a really strong, unified aesthetic to how everything works. It does seem a little bit simple, but I am only on level 4 right now in terms of like my account or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see how things go. I've already noticed what they're doing with like the premium currency and stuff like that. Yeah. For El Gordo or for you, James, for either one of you who played The Secret World, so is it actually free to play now, or is it coming to be free to play?
No, I don't. I don't think Secret World's free to play right now. I know.
Let's see. Subscription no longer required.
Is
Free
it?
trial. It looks like, according to Eurogamer, this was posted yesterday.
Oh, subscription no longer required. Yeah, I'm looking at that.
Free to play. The shift to free to play minimum means a shift in tone. Multiplayer is optional as long as been employed. Yeah, they say that that's one of the things I'm reading about on the Eurogamer site, that I heard the storytelling of the Secret World was really
Oh,
quite good.
really? Oh, yeah. Not only is it good, but it also is like fourth wall breaking, where a lot of the puzzles and quests can only be completed by doing out of game research, and not even like oh, like Destiny, where oh, go to a web page and it tells you what you need to know. Like literally, you have to go out of the game and look up
Mm-hmm.
like different things about the quest that you are on in order to complete it, or else it's going to be almost impossible to complete. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah. So it looks like they did get rid of the subscription fee. I remember hearing that at some point.
Okay. All right. Cool.
And now
Oh,
the game is
which
just
is
going
nice.
free to play, the Secret World.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
Now I wonder if they have, like, I remember one of the biggest pools for free for Secret World was the ever growing and ever changing of their environments and their I don't want to say NPCs, not like if creatures can invade towns, very much like very
Mm-hmm.
much on the Guild Wars 2 style, where
Mm-hmm.
things actually are happening in real world and what you do will affect
Mm-hmm.
different game areas. So I remember that was a big pool. Now I wonder if they'll tone that down for the free to play, or if they're really just trying to get their numbers up to keep themselves from sinking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see, because I know that, again, like according to Eurogamer, the game really did not um, do well in terms of financial support. Like I said, that they
Yeah.
barely broke 200,000 copies. That
Wow.
that ain't good for
Wow.
MMO.
Ooh.
Definitely.
Yeah. That's
Mm-hmm.
heartbreaking, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's bad.
and DC Universe is, I think, still chugging along.
Yeah,
Last
I
I
think they're
heard.
still going strong. It's a strong IP,
Mm-hmm.
so I mean, when you have a strong IP, I don't think there's much all that much worry about it. I'm not saying all that much worry about it, because I mean DC's had their problems, but as far as the MMO concerns, they built a good MMO. They built a good it's a good foundation. I mean, you're working with the DC IP, so I think they're keeping people around now. And now I don't know about mechanically, but I know story wise they're always doing new stuff. They're always
Mm-hmm.
putting, and you're dealing with let's say for the 8 millionth time, you're dealing with the DC IP. You have tons of stuff to pull from story
Mm-hmm.
wise. You're never going to run out of content. So
Mm-hmm. And especially with the greater push of the DC Cinematic Universe,
hmm
every time a new movie's announced, or every time there's some big push, it's going to get people interested in the video game.
yeah, I think maybe a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Although I think it will. I think it will. I think it's trickle. I think it'll trickle people into the game. I don't think it's going to be like people aren't going to be running into run into the super, or run into their PCs to download DC Universe right after watching the next, DC movie. But I think it'll poke a few fans here and there. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that Guns Up, I'm still curious to see how that's going to go. It definitely feels at least a little bit more interactive than the Command and Conquer game. Have
yeah.
you had a chance to look at any footage of that one?
No, I haven't.
Oh yeah, definitely get a chance to look at how exciting that game is.
Mhm. Hmm.
mm, yeah. So other than that, it's just been a lot of talking this week. I haven't really had a chance to sit down and play any games. I'm hoping
Yeah.
tonight, after all the streaming is done, just have a nice little chill session, see if I can finish up Thimbleweed Park. Although I have no idea how long it is. They
Mm.
sent me a reviewer's hint guide, so I've been resisting the temptation to look at that.
Hmm.
But I had to peek at it just to get past one part that I was stuck at. So now that temptation is there to just read and spoil myself on the entire game, so I can't do
Mhm.
that.
Hmm.
Have you been playing anything new this week?
New. I don't really think so. Like I said, I've kind of been headfirst into. I've been playing Dark Souls, and just
Mm,
I play Dark Souls very relaxing. When it comes to Dark Souls, I'm not the try to beat it as fast as I can. You know what I mean? I like, I'll spend like a good day in a section just trying to find all the little secrets and nooks and crannies, and leveling up my characters. So I'm having a good time in Dark Souls. Like I'm having a blast right now in Dark Souls. I'm still been playing the Pokemon TCG online. That's been fun. I'm playing. I play Heroes of the Storm with friends. I've been trundling through For Honor. I haven't sold it yet. Let's put it that way.
I've been hearing that people are getting more and more annoyed about like For Honor with the matchmaking.
Yeah, For Honor is entering that phase of we made a game that's supposed to be really competitive, but we also made our mechanics not back up that competitive nature. So and it's more of a fact of tweaking. A lot of tweaking is going to be needed before For Honor becomes that game that's solidified, where everything works 100% of the time. People can, there are builds, and I think they're also, like, a lot of times they're running right now into that whole gear. They're running into the gear problem. I think they're running right now into the gear problem where gear lends itself to builds. And builds, like, remember we were talking about this with Brian the other day, how power creep is a whole nother ball game when it comes to balancing stuff. And fighting games don't really have to deal with that kind of power creep. You know what I mean? A fighting game is mostly they balance their characters out, but the characters are usually balanced before they ever hit the market. That's the whole point of a fighting game. Each individual character has to be able to keep up with all of the other ones. And at its heart, that For Honor is a fighting game, but the power creep comes in when they added the system, the progression system stuff. So
yeah, and about the fighting game, we still haven't really seen what Injustice 2 is going to do when it eventually comes out.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see if they run into the same issue. Very interesting to see if they run into the same issue. Yeah. And
like with something like For Honor, like that kind of design with that gear system, like again, like what Brian was talking about, whenever you introduce elements like that, you have to be really careful to make sure that it never, makes something irrelevant or destroys an older piece. It's the same issue we've been seeing with Hearthstone. Like, I just wonder, like, like we just talked about Heroes of the Storm getting like a 2.0. I wonder if we'll see something like that with Hearthstone at some point.
I wonder. Yeah, maybe.
That's kind of the thing what's really interesting about Gwent, that they are not hesitant to change cards in Gwent. They've been changing the systems. The last patch, for instance, introduced the idea of positioning. So now you can choose where you place cards on the field. And that determines, again, like if you have a card that says boost 3 cards adjacent to each other, you can place your card like as a spy card, like Nilfgaard is my deck that I'm running, and you can place your spy in between there and try to soak up the bonus. So when you pull them back, you can get that bonus along with you.
Okay, cool.
But like they've changed cards, they've been adjusting like how weather works. Let's see, I know there's some announcements from a few people I've been following that they nerfed one of the major cards of like Northern Realms the other day. I've been watching the channel Merchant on YouTube. Like he plays Gwent. He also has like he has like an epic beard too. And I'm just wondering, like, does like the beard make your voice deeper? Maybe I should grow.
I think so. Yeah, I think you should grow a beard. Yeah,
I know. Every what we'll do for every $100 of Patreon,
for every $100 of Patreon, it gets an inch of beard, an inch of Josh beard, a Bycer beard.
Yeah, there we go.
An inch of Bycer beard.
And like, if we ever hit like 1,000, I'll have like the full like dwarven beard.
Oh my goodness, that'd be epic. It's kind of weird. You do see a lot of bearded guys in the game industry, so maybe it helps. Maybe it helps. What does El Gordo say about the beard? About the bearded Bycer?
No, XP suggested Games of Yore for the retro piece.
Games of Yore. That's interesting. I kind of like that, actually.
I got my list growing of ideas.
Okay, cool. The only problem is I think there's a whole generation that doesn't know what the word "your" means.
No, Gore.
Yeah.
No, Gore says game hipsters.
Game hipsters, yeah.
Oh man, what was I about to say? For Honor, CCG. Yeah, so I think with that, and again, we're trying to get this done early, so we'll probably have to wrap things up in like the next minute or two.
Uh-huh.
Um, but yeah, that's always a challenge of trying to keep these games going. And that actually reminds me, I think they announced that Destiny 2 is in the works now.
Oh, really? Okay.
Because someone was talking about that the other day. Let me see. Has it actually been announced? Yeah,
Destiny 2, I think, has been announced. Yes, already. Yeah.
I'm hoping it comes to the PC, just so that.
Yeah. I'm hoping they make it better. One of the biggest turnoffs for Destiny for me is that if I have to go outside of an MMO, Secret World did it differently. They were dealing with they're dealing with real world stuff. Like in Secret World, some of the factions are like the Illuminati and like the Knights Templar and stuff like that. Real world equivalents. You know what I mean? So. That's fine if I have to go out a little bit outside and learn a little bit of Illuminati or Knights Templar history. But Destiny has no real world equivalent. You know what I mean? So it's a fantasy game with aliens and guns, space guns and stuff. All of that should be in your game. And you have the money. They had the budget. There's no reason that kind of stuff should not have been in the game. You know what I mean? And that was very disappointing. I was very disappointing when so why should I play this epic quest of adventure when half of the adventure is not even in the game? That's I don't know. Yeah, that was kind of disconcerting there.
Yeah, and again, wasn't this supposed to be their big 10-year project too?
Yeah, it was big 10-year project. The makers of Halo have now come. And I'll admit it looked gorgeous. It looked gorgeous, but you can have a championship host. You can have a championship show horse, but if that show horse is dying of horse AIDS, then you're gonna have. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter how pretty it looks. So.
Yeah, and it would be interesting to see if they do make the PC version. It goes on about being like combination to Warframe, which at some point I need to finish downloading and try out so I can finally get on the conversation.
Oh, you have yet to play Warframe?
No, not yet.
Are you downloading it for the PC or for the PS3 or PS4? Sorry.
I was thinking about doing it for the PC with the Steam version and see how it goes. PC, yeah.
PS4. PS4. Download it for the PS4. PS4. I'll show you the ropes. PS4. PS4. Hey, no, I think somebody on the chat was saying that you should definitely try it on the PS4. I don't know who's saying it, but I definitely agree with them though. Definitely, you should listen to that guy.
And at some point we need to get back to Battle Brothers. And show off the last time we actually got through a whole stream without losing the entire company. So we'll see if next time. El Gordo's challenging. He says if I go with PC, he'll be my guide. So I have two masters trying.
Oh, you're on El Gordo. You're on El Gordo.
I'm being pulled between two masters right now.
Hey, I'm gonna pull the I've been with you longer rights. So. I'm gonna pull the co-host card. So
maybe I can try on both, and we can do that comparison as well.
Yeah, that'd be kind of interesting. Yeah, to see what your take is on both of those.
Oh, but we still need to come up with some catchy names. Well, I'll look through the list and see if anything speaks to me, and I'll try to make another little video on the site. And we'll see if anyone can vote, or if we get a few that ring any bells. XP gets the deciding vote. That's good. Right. I think we are going to wrap things up. We are approaching the hour. Again, this was supposed to be a smaller one. Even our smaller ones end up being an hour too long. So I am going to rest my voice. Again, I need to flip a coin or something to decide between what game to stream tonight, whether it be more Snake Pass, Gwent, Battle Brothers, anything like that. But for Ooh, Elgor just said James is a filthy casual. Oh, those are fighting words.
What?
Those
El
are
Gordo,
fighting words right there.
Thems is fighting words.
Mm-hmm.
Filthy casual.
Oh,
Okay.
the metaphorical glove slap has been laid down.
Yes. The challenge has been issued. The challenge has been issued.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. XP just suggested game archives for the retrospective one.
Ooh, kind of like that. Kind of like the way that sounds too. Game archives.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I kind of like that one actually. Game archives. Do you think that's been done before?
There's one way to find out.
Yeah, I kind of like it though.
Let's go to YouTube. And I'll also search extra credits just to make sure that no one's taken that one as well.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like there's a channel called the Game Archives.
Yeah.
But
that's a little bit different than just having a section of your thing called Game Archives. Yeah, I kind of like it though. I kind of like Game Archives.
Yeah. And of course, people use like video game archives and stuff like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's see. Yeah, so maybe we can try that. I'll add that to the list, and I'll go over and maybe I'll ask a few more people and make one more video to see what everyone thinks about the topics, and we'll see about trying to nail it down. The gaming archives.
Yeah. Well, hey, El Gordo. So, have you played Dwarf Fortress? and if tell me about Dwarf Fortress and how you like that.
Oh, he said it was casual, CSUL, not casual.
Okay. Because I was about to say, we could talk about some Dwarf Fortress and see how casual I am.
Alright, but I think we are going to wrap things up for now. I'll go through this list, we'll make the video, and we'll see what gets picked, and ideally either by our next live stream, the next one for Thursday, or the week after, we'll have things straight in terms of what the names are, and then we'll go forward that for the splitting up the vlog. And we'll see what's going on from there. Oh, I better get off before we have an argument. Oh. Maybe he can grow a beard. So. We can all grow beards. That'll be our new
have
thing.
To grow beards.
All right. So again, to wrap things up, for those of you watching this record right now, there won't be I don't think I'm going to do a critical thought for Friday, since we're going to be doing the live stream in this. So I think that's more than enough for me for one day. But again, the schedule for next week. So Wednesday around 8 Eastern, we're going to be doing the Twitch stream with Yacht Club. There'll be a little video preview going up as well over the weekend. And we got some more work to do with podcasts over the next few days. So with that said, we're going to end things for the stream here. I'll be coming back on in like probably like 40 minutes or an hour or so for a game tonight. And, well, James, I guess we'll be chatting again tomorrow afternoon.
Yep, definitely.
All right. Elgar says that your hat is his spiritual animal. You saw your hat on the Skype call.
Oh, yeah.
He loves your hat.
Yeah.
All right. So with that said, thank you so much for sticking through our little banter-filled cast this week. Again, I'll be making those changes to the Patreon, and we shall see what happens next week. So, as always, if you're new, be sure to like and subscribe and all that great stuff. And you'll be seeing a lot more of me tomorrow, and I'll be back probably Saturday with a critical thought. But until then, have a great night, and we'll be talking again live next week. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and of course share with your friends. It always helps out. For daily posts on all manner of game design and industry topics, check out game-wisdom.com. To support the site and everything that I do, be sure to check out the Patreon campaign. If we can hit goals, it will mean more content for everyone to enjoy, and I'll be able to support myself and my household. If you want to follow me, you can find me on Twitter at GWBycer for updates throughout the day and random thoughts from me. And lastly, you can find me on Twitch right over there at GWBycer for daily streams most nights around 10 Eastern. Thanks again for watching the video, and be sure to check out more great content coming to the Game Wisdom channel real soon.